Alright, hello everybody. This annual trek up north is what I tend to call dogs and daughters. A little easier today, only one of our daughters is on board. Both the dogs. I asked my wife and daughter to do a little content in the back seat, since I get a lot of questions about kind of what it's like back there. So we're going to do a little bit of that. Another flight up to Harbor Springs, Michigan from Richmond, Virginia. About an hour and 40 minutes today. A little less headwind than when I flew with my brother the other day, so that's good. But should be a pretty easy flight.
Welcome back to Blue Mag 6. We're here at Turbine County Airport. We're headed back to north to Harbor Springs today. Normally, I'm behind the camera. This is not my skill set. Today, we're traveling with 2 dogs and a dog. So come on with us. We've got about an hour and 45 minutes flight. Some headwinds. Let's go.
Richmond Executive, Chesterfield County Airport. Automated weather observation, 1405, Zulu. Wind 060 at 07. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 17 Celsius. Dew point 09er Celsius.
November 682, Tango Mike, determine clearance and clear to the Mike Golf, November Airport as filed. On departure, maintain 2000, expect flight level 430 and 10. Departure frequency is 126.75, squawk 5630, hold for release.
Alright, here we go. Listening to the engines start up. I don't know if you can hear that. Here comes engine 2. It is so subtle. I'm really not sure if you guys can hear it all the way. Honda has manufactured these planes, and where they put the engines, it is incredible. It makes for a really quiet ride.
One thing I have found from the data that I get from YouTube and also from you all is that nobody likes long intros, and nobody is much interested in watching a lot of taxi time. So I edit out as much as I possibly can. What do I also learn? I say a lot and I touch my nose a lot. So I'm working on editing those out and doing it less. How about that? So right now, my oldest daughter is in San Francisco, getting ready to move and change jobs, moving to Seattle. So hopefully I can see her a little later this summer. Number 2 is over in London, working there. My daughter number 3 is up in Boston. Definitely think she would have wanted to make this role. But she's having a little Memorial Day fun up in New England. My daughter number 4 is over in Scotland. She will be back a little later this summer. And then number 5 is in the back. She tends to provide a good bit of entertainment.
So, hi, I'm Grace, and normally what I do when I'm flying is I like to sit back here and sleep the whole time. So I will not be giving you all much content. But I'm excited to be going up north and seeing my friends from Michigan. Go Blue! Hopefully it'll be a fun trip. Thanks for flying me.
Tango Mike, release for departure on entering controlled airspace, flight heading 270, maintain 2000.
Okay, and controlled airspace heading 270 up to 2000. Release for departure 682 Tango Mike. Special traffic, Honda Jet 682, Tango Mike, taking runway 15, IFR departure to the west, Chesterfield. Not a ton of wind today, a little bit of a crosswind. I do have a lot of luggage on board, but I'm well below max gross weight, so we're going to Have some fun with this takeoff. Okay, runway 15 is verified. Power is coming up to takeoff. Takeoff power
This
is
is totally
selected.
my favorite part. We are cruising
Achieve here.
down the runway, about to take off. This is almost better than any roller coaster.
Airspeed's alive both sides.
Field traffic.
Did you not cross-check?
5 Bravo Keel's about 5 miles to the west over
There's V1.
Field. Going to be up with flight
Rotate.
for left downwind to 15 Chesterfield.
Positive rate, gear up. 3130, flaps are up. Power's coming back to MCT. Just for county traffic on a jet 2 Tango Mike is right crosswind departure runway 15, departing on 270 heading up to 2000. Departure, good afternoon, Honda Jet 682 Tango Mike is 2000 on 270.
682 Tango Mike, ident, climb maintain 12000.
Ident up to 12000, 682 Tango Mike.
Number 2 Tango Mike, your radar contact 3 miles west of Richmond Executive, and you can turn right direct Gordonsville.
Right direct Gordonsville, 2 Tango Mike.
Number 5241, descend maintain 3000. Down to 3000, there 52.
Good performance out of the aircraft today. Hand flying up to 10,000 like I like to do. Was taught that by my mentor pilots after type rating. I'm continuing to do that. And I think it's been a good, definitely a good habit to develop. feet. We're going to come down to 10 degrees of pitch. All right, 10,000, things are flying fine. We'll go ahead and engage the autopilot.
Contact Washington Center 132.95, 3295.
3295, 682, Tango Mike, thank you, sir. Washington Center, good morning. Honda Jet 682, Tango Mike, 11,000, climbing 12,000, direct Gordonsville.
Honda Jet 682, Tango Mike, Washington Center, climb maintain flight level 220.
220, 682, Tango Mike. Get my camera put back up here, this thing. I have not found mounts to be awesome. Somebody's got some better ideas for mounts, please let me know. Go ahead and turn the fasten seatbelt signs. No smoking signs off. I always get a kick out of that. With my wife and daughter filming in the back today, I decided to bring another.
Number 2 Tango Mike, amend out to maintain flight level 180, next access request.
Okay, flight level 180, 682, Tango Mike.
Number 682 Tango Mike, contact Washington Center 121.67.
2167, 682, Tango Mike, see you, sir.
See you later.
Alright. This does allow me to have another camera in the cockpit, so maybe I can film a little of what I'm doing down here. I'll give it a try. Let's see here, got a ground speed of 335 knots in building.
240. Climb maintain flight level 240.
So got a lot higher to
Number 2
climb.
Tango Mike, climb maintain flight level 200.
200, 682, Tango Mike. Alright.
Silver 357, contact
Altitude
Washington Center on
select.
133.72.
200.
3372, 35, 7 minutes.
Pitch up. We're going to get there pretty quickly. 1,000 feet to go. Picked up a little ice on that climb. Expected we would. Brought the engine in, ice is on before we got ice detected. And we're out of the visible moisture now, but we'll let the ice system clear. We'll continue our climb. Yeah, so having the dogs on board is actually always interesting.
Silver 8 Tango Mike, Cruise 2 Tango Mike, climb maintain flight level 220.
220, 682, Tango Mike. Baby steps. Yeah, but it's fun having the dogs on board. My dog is Whiskey, he's a chocolate lab. Kind of likes to hang out up here. He can be a little bit of a nervous traveler, but usually when I was back there with him, it was pretty good. keeps him on a leash. He does okay. So we'll see what the video looks like from that part of the flight. Yeah.
Number 2 Tango Mike, climb and maintain flight level 270.
270, 2 Tango Mike. Alright, well this is going to be a slow, relatively incremental climb up to 430. I actually want to catch more of the coming into Harbor Spring. Maybe I'll turn it on a little bit while we're cruising at 430.
2 Tango Mike, contact Washington Center 133.57.
3357 682 Tango Mike, see you, sir.
135.
Yeah, I thought I'd check back in while I'm in cruise. Just wanted to say a couple things. One, I really appreciate the following and the engagement that we're getting, both Instagram and YouTube. We appreciate it. We're starting to see more and more subscriptions. We're coming up on 5,000. That's kind of my next goal. That last video I did with my brother was a lot of fun. And part of it was you all had asked for a little bit more sort of background on what got us into aviation and how we wound up in Honda Jet. Honda Jet's been in the news quite a bit lately. I will say I'm very, very bullish on this platform. I trained with Flight Safety International for the type rating, which was fantastic. I also had 2 mentor pilots. And the mentor pilots, in my opinion, cover that gap between what you learn in the type rating and your operational use of the aircraft. My mentor pilots, I picked 2 very carefully. One is a former F-18 pilot, a professional pilot, very good in the Honda Jet, very focused on the handling of the aircraft and dealing with non-standard conditions. The other mentor pilot I used was the guy from FlyHJ Aero, Turbine Aircraft Logistics. Also professional pilot, also maintenance rated in the Honda Jet. So 2 different approaches that really helped me with that 50 plus hours of mentor pilot training that I got in addition to being in the type rating with flight safety. Those together make me feel extremely safe in the aircraft. I'm no longer a professional pilot, but having been one, I try to fly to those standards. It's one of the reasons I went and got my ATV rating, is I wanted to knock that out. Felt that was pretty important if I was going to be flying a capable aircraft. But a lot of it too, what they taught me was really around managing the energy and operations below 10,000 feet, both taking off and landing. But in the landing, really managing my energy, stabilized approach. There are smaller tires on this aircraft, so when you land, it's not like landing in a larger jet. So I've talked about that a lot. I fly the aircraft onto the runway and understand that even while I'm rolling out, that wing is still flying. So I just continue to fly it until I'm below 80 knots, and then I'm focused on ground control handling. But a couple things I wanted to say. So this is my PSA. One, please follow along on Instagram. We post a lot more content up there. Several of you have reached out about Patreon. I really like Patreon for what it is. I don't think that works for us right now. There's not a lot of things that I don't share, and so I'm not sure that I can add value and do justice to people who are paying for some additional access or additional content. Yeah, I leave a lot of information on the cutting room floor, but that's just to come up with a video that'll keep people watching, for more than a few minutes. Now we do fly for 2 organizations. I fly for Veterans Airlift Command. Please go look them up. There's a link and a logo for Veterans Airlift Command. I feel really passionate about them. This is Memorial Day weekend. I'm grateful for those veterans who are in recovery and the ones that we really don't, as we collectively remember those who gave their last full measure of devotion for country. So there are a couple ways to support, right? So there's a super thanks button below. That super thanks button essentially lets you leave us a tip. We get a percentage of that, and a percentage of that goes to YouTube. I've also got a link down below for Buy Me a Coffee. Right? That is one where we get 100% of that, and those funds they help us to operate the aircraft I do not film flights when I'm doing Veterans Airlift Command or flying for Angel Flight. I don't know, I feel like it's best just to focus on that mission. So I just fly when I'm flying for work or flying with family. But, you know, if you all wanted to help offset some of that cost, that definitely would be appreciated. I do, as a former professional pilot and somebody who continues to fly, I do stand by having figured out a couple of products and services that I think are really exceptional. I've linked those below in the description where I took the time to use those, stand behind those, and I list them because it was the kind of thing I was looking for when I was looking for information as I moved from aircraft to aircraft. You know, what do I use? And so you'll see the links to those below, and again, if you have any questions about those, I'm happy to talk to it. As a former military pilot, somebody who went through survival school more times than I should have, you know, I'm big on having some survival gear. You know, but yeah, take a look below and see kind of the things that we stand by. Anyway, just thought I'd check in while we're cruising along, and I will go ahead and shut the cameras back off and pick back up on the descent into Harbor Springs, Michigan. Thanks so much. All right, a little more cruise flight stuff. Go ahead and turn the music off so you don't have to listen to that. Yeah, so we're just sipping gas at 310 pounds per side per hour. Just getting really great performance out of the aircraft. ISO -7, negative 64 degrees outside. Let's take a look at some of the systems while we're in flight. I don't show that much because I really don't show cruise flight very often. Let's take a look at aircraft systems.
So 1064.
You've 730 pounds so far.
32.9ers due. 3292, Delta 1064, very good.
Electrical systems. Hydraulics. Environment. I got told to warm it up in the back a little bit, so I did. Status. Things are looking good on the flight. Alright, back to some music. Alright, welcome back everybody. We are on the descent over the thumb of Michigan right now.
Clear 605, contact me.
Already picked up our weather at the destination in Harbor Springs. It's favoring runway 28, which it does almost all the time. I'm using my 360 Max a little bit today, which I haven't done. That does not do 4K video. I have not yet figured out how to really utilize the 360 capability of the 360 Max, but I'm sure somebody will give me some advice on how to do that. Getting ready to head over Saginaw Bay. My family first came to the United States from Germany. They settled in Saginaw, Michigan. Our family had been there and back and forth to Germany for generations. But my grandfather was the last one to sort of be born and raised there. I'm going to be requesting the RNAV runway 28 into Harbor Springs today. Let me put up the plate there real quickly so you all can see it. I'm also going to hopefully record the geo-referenced approach on my iPad, and we'll see if that works out. If that works out, putting that up during the approach to see if that's helpful. It's been pretty quiet in the back. I don't know what they've done to contain whiskey, but he has not been sitting here with his head right next to me drooling the whole time. So glad that worked out. I shared a little bit of en route video this time. Please leave in the comments and let me know what you think about that. I would appreciate it. I know my wife and daughter have been taking a bunch of shots, and I'm gonna get that up on Instagram as soon as we land. Appreciate the people that have been putting comments in there. I had someone from I think it was somebody from Colombia. I got some DMs on Instagram where somebody was splicing video from YouTube from our flights.
Vertical track.
With their Microsoft Flight Simulator, so they set the aircraft up to look like 682 Tango Mike at the tail number on there. They were flying the same flight, and we're showing cuts between our cockpit and the simulator. I thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, the flight sim stuff fascinates me. Still haven't done it. Had a conversation going on YouTube where I said, hey, if somebody has a really great flight sim setup, maybe it'd be worth a flight to go check it out. Make a video doing that. I know Citation Max, I'm a big fan of Citation Max. He's a big game bro. There's a lot of the game. I think that's what got him into flying to begin with. But he spends a lot of time doing that, which I think is pretty neat. And I will tell you that as good as the simulators are now, it really helps keep some of those skills going. Increase our rate of descent here just a little bit. Things are going to start happening here pretty quickly.
November 682 Tango Mike, contact Minneapolis Center 134.6.
34.6, 2 Tango Mike, see you, sir.
Okay.
34.6 feels like home to me. That's Minneapolis Center. That'll take me all the way to Harbor Springs. I got a shout out from them last time I checked in with them. Set 3036 for when we go through transition altitude here shortly. Go put it in my standby as well. And Minneapolis Center, Honda Jet 2 Tango Mike. May I go ahead and put the RNAV 28 on request?
2 Tango Mike, yeah, what fix you have to do?
Yeah, 2 Tango Mike, I'm going to stand by. Boofy.
2 Tango Mike, roger, sir, direct Boofy.
Direct Boofy, 2 Tango Mike. Let's see if I can record this. Yeah, I found out when I get the settings right and I have the memory cards right, the performance of the GoPros is absolutely fantastic. I'm still not thrilled with this one suction mount over my shoulder. I've swapped it out a couple times. And, I've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 different suction mounts. I know the pressure change in here, but I have not found suction mounts that work great. I have several of them. All right, flaps to go on the approach checklist. Go ahead and turn on my fasten seatbelt and no smoking. I don't know why I get such a kick out of that, but I do. So Pellston, PLN. I'll put the airport diagram up for Pellston right now. That is minutes away from Harbor Springs. It's a commercial airport. They no longer have a tower there. They shut the tower down during COVID. They just weren't getting enough traffic in there to support it. With Harbor Springs being a relatively short runway, 4,149 feet. When it's wet, I divert to Pellston and figure out a ride. So no longer a controlled airfield, but nice, long, grooved runways that can help with the weather. So light jets and very light jets do not have thrust reverse. Those are for larger aircraft. So flying ref airspeed is absolutely critical. You want to carry the exact amount of energy into the approach and into the landing that's necessary, no more, no less. Ref airspeed is the goal. Really, flying it, plus or minus 1. Every Honda jet below the Elite 2 does not have auto throttles, so we're doing manual throttle, so we keep up with it, but ref airspeed is the goal. You hear me talking about ref. So with a fully configured aircraft,
Tango Mike, 3,500.
That's 3,500. We shoot for a stable approach, flying ref airspeed, and then managing the energy and the conditions on the ground. So stable approach really means all the way through the rollout. With a fully configured aircraft, on ref airspeed in a stable condition. Pitch attitude of the aircraft is the landing configuration.
2 Tango Mike, cleared RNAV runway 28 approach, Harbor Springs Airport.
Clear for the RNAV 28, Harbor Springs 682 Tango Mike.
2 Tango Mike, once you make a turn inbound via park traffic, just to the west 5 miles, 4,500 indicated type unknown.
Vertical track.
2 Tango Mike, Charlie Hill.
03 Golf, change to advisory frequency approved, cancel with me on this frequency. Okay, we'll go ahead and cancel with you now, we're switching over here. 03 Golf, 5 bar cancellation received, you have a good night.
Harbor Springs traffic, Honda Jet 682 Tango Mike, RNAV 28, and turning final, Harbor Springs. Minneapolis Center, Honda Jet 2 Tango Mike, cancel IFR.
Honda Jet 2 Tango Mike, 5 bar cancellation received, Fox maintain via power frequency approved, good night.
2 Tango Mike today. Okay, we've done our descent. Starting to set up for ref airspeed. Approach flaps coming in. Gears coming down.
40 pop, clear of active.
You've got 3 green doors closed. Aircraft starting to depressurize. Landing flaps. And indicating. Fully configured, coming for ref. There is a rock quarry on short final coming into runway 28 on Harbor Springs. That always causes some mechanical turbulence on big wind days. It shouldn't get much today since the wind's really not blowing that much.
Charlie traffic on 09 Papa Whiskey is 8 north of Mount Money, 9 Charlie.
Ref airspeed. On course, on glide path, on speed. Yaw damp to go.
Sheboygan traffic 172 Tango Pop, turning left base 10 Sheboygan.
Harbor Springs traffic, Honda Jet 682 Tango Mike, final runway 28 Harbor Springs. So those of you who can see and notice, there's 4 red on the VASI.
500.
As the approach is different than the instrument approach is different than the instrument approach.
Minimum.
Continue. Autopilot's coming off.
Trouble traffic on 09 Papa Whiskey.
Bench check, good. On ref. Power's coming off. Max braking, speed brakes are out, power's off. First turn off. Call it marginally made. Harbor Springs traffic, Honda Jet 2 Tango Mike is clear of runway 28 Harbor Springs. All right, welcome to Harbor Springs.
To the west, turning left downwind.
My dad and uncle learned to fly in this airfield when it was a grass field.
Did you get me on film?
You know I did.
Great, that'll be a classic.
All right, let's shut it down.
We made it. Thank you so much for flying along with Blue Max 6. And if I'm willing to be in front of the camera, I would really appreciate it if you guys could like and subscribe. We really hope you enjoy our content. And again, thank you so much for following Blue Map 6.